In this class, we are going to discuss about English language teaching. We have one subject in MA English, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. So in that, first topic, materials in English language teaching. So in that, role of materials in English language teaching or language teaching. So now we are going to discuss about role of materials. Role of materials in language teaching. Right? So this is the topic. So how we are going to understand and how we are going to get good score in exam? So we need to understand 5 steps to get this topic. So first of all, we need to write introduction. So introduction means what is the topic, right? So role of materials in English language teaching. So what is material? So we need to write in introduction what is the material. For example, materials gives a structured learning for teachers and students. So it will works. So it will give explanations, examples, activities, like that, right? So we need to write at least 2 to 3 lines in exam. For example, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, they are asking 2 types of questions, short questions and long questions. In short questions, they are asking write about 10 lines. Any topic, they, for example, they give role of materials in English language teaching. They ask write about roles of materials in English language teaching. So if it provides, it will give in short answers, you will write 10 lines only. If they will provide, they will give in long answers, you should write 30 lines. So according to that, you can make notes for short questions, how we are going to write, for long questions, how we are going to write. So according to that, you can make. So this class will give a overview and brief understanding of this topic, right? So if you understand the topic, automatically you can reproduce. If you make short, or you can elaborate more, right? So introduction means you should write what is material and what about it, right? You should write that. Then next, there is 4 steps in this. What are those? Majorly, meaning of, second one is meaning of teaching materials in English language teaching. So what is the meaning? So what is the meaning of materials? So materials are the resources support teaching and learning. So main idea, the simple word, materials are the resources support teaching and learning. A teaching material supports as a, or serves as a language knowledge and language use. So how language, so it will give the language, how language is, and how to apply the language. So that is the material, that is the meaning of material, right? Then importance of language teaching material in classroom, teaching classroom, right? So language materials, how it will works in teaching classroom. For example, for teachers, it will provides a structured planning, a structured delivery of lecture. It will give the structure for the teachers, and it serves as a guide for the students. It will support and it will motivate. So that's why so it will guides and motivates. At the same time, it will provides developing of language skills, listening, reading, writing, right? LSRW. So that's why its materials are important. So fourth point, materials material support of material support of in language teaching. So how it will support? At the same time, how it will gives teachers for lesson planning, and it will gives organized structure, organized way of delivering the lecture. For students, it will gives the guide. It will gives the guide and reference purpose. It will helpful. So that support will provide materials. And final point is how it will works in the ODL context. ODL context. What is ODL context? ODL means open and distance learning context. How the materials are useful. In open universities, majorly the students will not go regular format, right? So they will not go regularly, and it will the students completely who are pursuing through open or distance learning, they are depending only on materials only, right? So the materials were more important than compared to remaining students. In distance and open and distance learning, this will help very importantly, because they provide materials and they provide self-learning questions, right? Self-evaluating questions. Like that, it will works. So for example, I will show that. For example, here see, in MA English textbook, self-assessment questions. For example, what are the teaching materials in language teaching, and explain the importance of teaching materials in language classroom. Why are teaching materials particularly important in distance learning context, right? So above these 1, 2, 3, 4, if 4 points you should learn thoroughly, then automatically you can answer these 3 questions, right? So this is the main an overview or brief introduction or brief explanation of materials in English language teaching. So once again I will repeat these 5 steps. First is introduction, then meaning of teaching materials in English language teaching, then importance of materials in language classroom, importance of language materials or language classroom, materials, importance of materials in language classroom or teaching class, then materials in support for teachers and learners in the OLD context. So how will works? So these are the 4 or 5 steps you should remember in the role of materials in language teaching.